up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890, your favorite wrestling shooter and hip-hop enthusiast. So here we go, June 2012, Copper Drop, hip-hop albums. Want to do a little disclaimer here on this one. Was asked in my last Copper Drop video to list everything in order. Well, I'm going to continue to do these videos the way I do them. So I'll let you know how I do these videos. I start with the drops, for those of you who've not followed these. I go from the bottom of the list on the description up, and then I go to the cop, and then it goes up. So if you need to find whatever album or whatever I'm reviewing, whatever order, just go from the bottom of the list up, not down. Because I put the cop first and the drop in the description. There you go. You can find whatever you want to see that I'm reviewing right there. So, I'm going to get to the albums and mixtapes from June here. I'm going to do the drops like I said first. I'm going to throw out just five mixtapes that I heard about through the grapevine. I'm probably not going to talk about them at all, really. Just didn't like any of them. Just didn't care for them. But they were kind of, how do you say it? There was about a buzz going on the internet about several of these mixtapes, so I checked them out, and I really didn't care for them. But that's Streets and Young Deuces, Next Day Air, Young Cypher, The Unemployment Line, Graph, The Street Oracle, Young Thug, I Came From Nothing Too, and Quest, Fear Not Failure. I just didn't, they weren't anything terribly horrible, but they weren't anything great either, and they were free, but I just didn't care for any of them. So those are those five right there. If you kind of have the same thought process when it comes to hip-hop music as me, you probably won't like them either, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Next, we got Memphis Bleak, Kush Volume 2. This was just a couple of snippet, 1.5 minute, 2 minute songs over other people's beats. I didn't really care for it. Next, Cypress Hill and Rusko's EP. I think it's just called Cypress and Rusko EP. It's like a 5-track, just dubstep, just bullshit. Oh, it's horrible. I hated it. It's definitely when I do my top 10 or top 30 or whatever I'm gonna do this year, I'm gonna do like a top 10 just worst albums of the year, or mixtapes or EPs. This will probably be on there. I hated it. I didn't think it was good at all. I just don't care for the dubstep kind of sound, but that's just me. Next we got Space Ghost Perp, Mysterious Funk. I think it's the Chronicles of Space Ghost Perp or something like that, Volume 1 or something. Never really listened to this guy. I heard he had an album or whatever, a mixtape or whatever dropping this month, so I thought I'd check it out. I did not care for this guy at all. Maybe you gotta be on acid. Maybe you gotta be on some kind of psychedelic drugs to enjoy this. I do not know, but it was really just repetitive chorus, barely any rapping, weird, messed up beats that don't make sense. I don't know. I just, maybe it's his lane, maybe people who listened to his stuff before would like this, but this is the first time I've ever listened to any Space Ghost Perp. Did not care for this at all. So there's that. Next, Decatur Slim, Rich Before Rap. A friend of mine told me about this. He's like, yo, it's got a lot of party banger type, songs on it. You should definitely check it out. You probably won't like it, just sitting around listening, but definitely a party type mixtape. And he was right. It's got a lot of bangers. It's definitely playing off that Yo Gotti, Waka Flocka, Gucci kind of style. But there was definitely some solid bangers on here that I would listen to and, jamming in a car or at a party or whatever. But other than that, I wouldn't. It's nothing really special. This next mixtape I picked up because I heard a lot of buzz on Dat Piff, which is where I download a lot of mixtapes from, free mixtapes actually. Just this had a lot of free mixtapes or free downloads, and a lot of people were liking it, so I thought I'd check it out. It's kind of in the mold, I guess, of like A$AP Rocky, kind of that, I don't know, that kind of sound where it's kind of almost Soldier Boy-ish, like the beats are kind of like real slow and kind of drug induced, like weed type beats, and the rapping's okay on it. I didn't think it was a great mixtape, but there was 2 songs on here that were catchy as hell, and I've listened to them several times, just because I just think they're catchy as hell. One's actually the title of the mixtape, Southside Villain. Just got a really interesting repetitive beat, and his flow on it, it's really cool. And then Peter Pan, which is kind of like a spin-off of like the Ice Cream Paint Job song. It's kind of like that, and it's like about a Peter Pan peanut butter paint job on a car or something like that, and it's really catchy. But other than that, I don't think this is anything amazing. I would say check out those tracks if you like, catchy type rap songs. Next, got Pastor Troy, Last Outlaw. I actually thought I was going to like this, and I didn't. I like some older Pastor Troy stuff, but this just got to the point where he was just, I don't know, just randomly screaming about nonsense at several times with this mixtape. You know how I feel. If you watch my stuff, you know how I feel about what is it? I don't even remember what the group was called, because I don't even care for him that much. The Money Store, Death Grips. There we go. I can't stand Death Grips. This was Pastor Troy was screaming the majority of these songs, almost to death, screaming to death. Yeah, sorry, Death Grip fans again, but can't stand them. But Pastor Troy was leaning on that, just screaming, just noise. I just barely, hard to listen to. Several tracks on here. Next, the so-called lady of the rap business that is not going to be rapping anymore, made a big to-do about it. Azealia Banks, 1991 EP. I hated this. I hated this. I didn't like this at all. It reminded me of like those like poppy R&B like type songs from the 90s that were really, really crappy and cheesy. I don't know. Maybe you guys felt the same way. Maybe you didn't. But I did not like this Azealia Banks 1991 EP. First thing I've ever heard from her. Didn't like it. Next, this one right here. Oh God, I thought it was horrible. D-Pryde's Flagship. Now, this mixtape this month has literally got like the most buzz I've seen from a mixtape in a while. On YouTube, online, I guess when it comes to downloads and all that stuff, it's been, people have been passing it around. People have been listening to this guy. I obviously checked it out because a lot of buzz, but I read an article. Some guy reviewed it. I don't know who it was, but some guy said he loved it, and he says at times, D-Pryde sounds like a combination between Drake and Eminem. And I was like, wow, I have to hear this. And he doesn't sound like that at all, at least in my opinion. He sounds like every other mainstream hip-hop artist trying to get out there, and except he's not even the good parts. He's all the bad parts of the mainstream hip-hop you dislike. I don't dislike Drake as an artist, but I do dislike, like, there's stuff about him I just do not like. And this guy takes all the stuff I do not like about Drake and just does it. Same thing about every other mainstream hip-hop artist. He takes everything that I dislike about them, and he's just a big combination of it. I hated it. I didn't like it at all. Sorry if you guys like the mainstream type sound. You may like that, but didn't like it. Next, Juvenile's Rejuvenation. I actually thought I was going to like this as well, but the thing about this is, I heard there was two mixtapes earlier in the year from Juvenile, I believe, and both mixtapes there's a couple of different songs from on this, so there really wasn't a lot of new songs. There's a lot of recycled songs that put on this album. There was a couple of songs I did like, but overall I'm not a huge Juvenile fan, but I thought it would have been a little bit better. Next, one of my most disappointing mixtapes so far of this year, I don't know why. I really like this guy's first mixtape, or the first mixtape I heard from him. I think it was from last year. I really enjoyed it. And that's XV Popular Culture. Well, one thing I do like about this mixtape is the cover art. The cover art of this is really, really cool. It's got a lot of pop culture faces and people on it. It's like different, big name pop culture icons sitting in front of a TV, like watching TV, like The Simpsons. When they run in there and watch TV. But that was pretty cool. But overall, this almost leans towards him trying to get noticed for being more mainstream, and a lot of radio friendly type tracks. And the thing I liked about XB before this was they were really catchy. They were a lot catchy. This is kind of reminds me of B.O.B.'s first album to his second album. This is kind of like XV's first mixtape to his second mixtape. Like it wasn't that good at all. That's my opinion, but check it out. If you like XV, you probably still like some of the songs on here, but overall I didn't care for it. Kid Ink, Up and Away. Another guy trying to just hit that mainstream. Sounds like everybody else. Nothing I can really say about that. And then the last two here, one's a mixtape and one's an album. Same guy, Waka Flocka Flame. What I think hurts Waka Flocka is he releases several mixtapes and he puts a lot of tracks that he's going to put on his albums on these mixtapes. So when you get his actual album, which is Triple F, Friends, Family, Fans, or whatever it is, you're not getting any new songs. You've already heard everything released prior. So it's kind of like, what's the point? You want, release a bunch of songs for free, 10 songs for free, and then put a 16 album together, and then put 6 new songs on it. And then we're going to want to pay $15 for your album. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple of good bangers on here, but I've already heard them. So overall, not worth really getting. But if you like those banger type songs you listen to when you jam in your car, you probably would like the album. But the mixtape is Luke Skywaka, and the album is Triple F. So those are my drops. Holy crap! 12 minutes in. Shoot, got to run through some of these these cops here pretty fast till I get to the end. Tito Lopez, The Hunger Game. Heard about this. Buzz, another Buzz album. Good bangers. I liked it. It's free. Pick it up. Camp Low and Ski Beatz, they dropped an EP. I don't know if it was this month. It might have been last month. But I like Ski Beatz and I like Camp Low not together. So when they come together, I liked it. A lot of short tracks, but hopefully if they do an album, I think they are, we'll get a lot more stuff. This was a lot of short stuff, kind of previewing what they're going to be doing. So I did like it. Next, Nottz In My Mind EP. I think this came out last month as well. Like I said, I liked it. Not amazing, but hopefully see what he can do from there. Ghostwridah, Downtown Lights. I think this came out last month as well. These are some stuff I'm catching up on here. Just catchy songs, a lot of catchy, stuff like that. Nothing really super amazing on here. Ohnomite. I didn't think this was as good as the Gangrene album that came out earlier this year, but I thought this was good. The production was good, and he had, Ohno's actually a producer. I believe he's MF Doom's brother, and he produced, and I think he rapped a couple times on this as well. But this wasn't bad. It was kind of building off the Dolomite, idea in the movie, and so I mean it was pretty good. I enjoyed it for the most part, but nothing amazing. This came out, I believe both of these. Next one came out last year. Oh, I keep saying last year. Last month as well. Jody Breeze, Airplane Mode. I think Jody Breeze is my favorite member of Boys in the Hood. I remember having the original Boys in the Hood album. And I remember always hearing Jody Breeze and Young Jeezy be the two that would break out of the group and do something. Obviously, Young Jeezy did. Jody Breeze, not so much, but I still like this. And it still had that kind of like Boys in the Hood type sound. I really liked back in the mid to early 2000s when they came out. So that's a free mixtape. I'd check that out. Lecrae, Church Clothes. this to me proves that a Christian rap artist can get over. It proves also that you can pretty much say whatever you want in a chorus and have a good beat, and most of the time people aren't even listening to what you're saying. If the song sounds good, people will listen to it, or they'll bump it at a party, or they'll listen to it in their car because of the beat or because of how the chorus is constructed. That just proves to me that Christian rap can get over and can probably get played on the radio. I liked the majority of the songs on here. Most of them were banger type songs, but they were about the man upstairs, good old Jesus. So, you could barely even tell that they were. So, if you're afraid to listen to Christian rap because you think it's not able to, because it kind of would be too much God, blah blah, that proves to me that you can. GLC and Blended Babies, Cathedral. This came out. I keep repeating myself because a lot of these did come out. A friend of mine told me about this as well. Heard about this through the grapevine. I like this. This I believe GLC was signed by Kanye West years ago to his group, Good Music, and he's been on several features for big named people, but he's never really had anything that stood out real big. This mixtape was good. It had a couple tracks on here that are really, really catchy. Just Pimp You was just absolutely hilarious and really catchy. So I definitely say check that out. Then we're going back to, ladies and gentlemen, my young childhood punk ass youth here. Lil Wyte, Still Doubted. A lot of these songs sound exactly like Lil Wyte from the early 2000s when I was a little punk ass kid. Rolling around with my buddies, just doing ignorant shit, and it kind of brought up good memories. But yeah, a lot of songs they kind of blend together, but they are those kind of like, bassy, car banger type songs. Most of them are, but it's really good. Like I said, car banger type album. That's why I would definitely say check it out. I don't know if I'd say get it for free or get paid for it, but I definitely say if you get it for free, I would. But I do have it on the cop just because good bangers. Crooked Eye, Psalms 8 verse 2, Psalms 82 verse 6. Wow, that was totally backwards. I like Crooked Eye. Can't wait till that Slaughterhouse album drops later this year. This had some really good songs on it. Hopefully continues to progress. Definitely, it's a free mixtape. Definitely check that out. Smoke DZA is next here with Rugby Thompson. I like Smoke DZA. I heard about Smoke DZA through the grapevine, just through wrestling conversations. Same way I heard about Action Bronson, two guys who are rappers who were really into professional wrestling. They do a lot of wrestling type based songs on their mixtapes and albums. They have, Smoke DZA has one on here called New Jack, which is absolutely hilarious. It's a good song. And I think there's another one called Ringside something or other, where it's Smoke DZA and Action Bronson, and they're rapping and they're like tagging each other back and forth in like a tag team wrestling match. It's pretty good. I like that. So I definitely say check this out. If you're a wrestling fan, you definitely like those two tracks. Next, Chevy Woods, Gangland. I've been on the Wiz Khalifa bandwagon all this year. The Wiz Khalifa Mac Miller sound. I don't know. I just really dig the kind of bangers that they make. I really like the bangers that come to the Wiz Khalifa camp. Mac Miller's been touring with Wiz Khalifa, so they've kind of got that same kind of sound. They've been working with a lot of the same producers and a lot of the same choruses. Chevy Woods here puts together just several great bangers on this. Definitely a good free mixtape to pick up for parties or driving or whatever. Next, Dom Kennedy, the Yellow Album. Alongside, obviously Black Hippie with Kendrick Lamar and Kendrick Lamar and Ab-Soul and J-Rock and Schoolboy Q. Alongside with them guys, Dom Kennedy is putting the West Coast back on the map. Because I'm not really a huge West Coast hip-hop fan. I'm not. But I kind of really like the slow, mellow kind of flow that Kennedy has here on this, and that's the way his last couple of mixtapes have been. And I don't know, I just really vibe with it real well. Like, you know, I can just sit down and just chill with it and just, you know, do whatever, mess up. You know, it's not one of those things where it's just like, I guess I'm more into the mellow kind of chill hip hop rap. I guess you could say weed rap type music, over the yelling, screaming, aggressive style. A lot of people are liking nowadays, but I would definitely say that pick up this, you know, you like a mellow, chill kind of West Coast sound. Next, Stevie Stone, Rollin Stone, another pretty good project coming out of the Strange Music camp here. Strange Music just putting on just a raw just lineup of just mixtapes this year and EPs and such. This is definitely another good one here. If you like the Strange Music sound, yeah, plenty of Strange Music type Tech 9, Chris Calico type songs on here. Definitely check that out. This next one, I don't know. It's got a lot of I don't want to say hate, but it's got a lot of, you know, people disliking it. Just I don't know, because it's boring. I don't know what it is. But that's Currency's The Stoned Immaculate. Yeah, Dead and Hip Hop hated this. Dead and Hip Hop hated this album. They said they thought it was boring. They thought it was one of the worst things he's done. I don't really think so. I thought this was a way better than the rock type rap album he tried to make earlier this year. The whatever the hell that was, Muscle Car or something. I don't know what the hell it was called, but I hated that. This, I don't know. I like this. It's another one of those cases of like Dom Kennedy. It's just a chill, you know, thing. Everyone's like, oh, it's boring. I need something to entertain me. I can just sit and just vibe to this and just chill. Like, it doesn't really have to be, you know, just jump out there and just grab you by your face and scream at you. Like I said, another weed type album. Obviously, The Stoned Immaculate. I want to put that over. Everyone's like, this is boring. Blah blah blah. I don't like it. Maybe just get high and listen to it. I don't know. Maybe you'll understand it then. Shit, I don't know. Next, Maybach Music Group presents Self-Made Volume 2. This is how I like my Maybach Music Group. This is how I like it. When all the guys come together, I liked the first Maybach Music Groups, I believe, Self-Made Volume 1. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I can't remember if I did or I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I like it like this. The thing that I start to dislike about single artists in Maybach Music Group is, you know, the repetitiveness of their songs and this and that. Each guy has their own set kind of style of how they want to produce songs. And, you know, Meek Mill and Rick Ross, they all run those same kind of style of songs. But when you mix them up and you put them all differently on here and you have them mesh together with different guys and do this and do that, you come up with some different, really diverse kind of hip-hop album. It's not amazing. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I definitely would say it's worth checking out. It's got several great bangers on it. It's got some tracks for the ladies. It's got, you know, it's definitely a diverse album. It's got some slower songs, you know, Wale doing his thing, Gunplay doing his thing. Like I said, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, Omarion's on here now. I guess he's with them now. So, you know, their roster's pretty good, and I enjoyed this. I didn't think it was amazing, but I enjoyed this. This wasn't a horrible listen, at least in my opinion, so I definitely say check that out. Next, get into the top 3 of the month for me. And so, here we go. Large Professor at Large. You know, it's sad to say because I'm a really huge fan of that boom bap type hip hop music, and this is the first time I've ever heard any Large Professor. I absolutely love this. I know he's producer and he brought a lot of different MCs on here for him, you know, for this album, and I believe he did some rapping himself. I don't really know too much about Large Professor, but you know, heard a lot of great things about this. Thought I was like, all right, gotta check this out, you know. And I love that boom bap style. That is my favorite style of hip hop. And when I get to the last mixtape or last album on this list here, you'll understand what I mean by that. So, next, by the way, yes, Large Professor, please book that up. Yes, next, Big K.R.I.T, Live from the Underground. I like this way better than his last mixtape. A lot of people were giving me grief and and I understand, people are behind Big K.R.I.T, and they really like his music, and he spreads a message that a lot of people are behind and really get, because they've lived that kind of lifestyle. I've never lived the lifestyle that Big K.R.I.T has. Another person that's on that same wavelength is Killer Mike. He spits the truth about this and about that, and content has always been one of the last things I always really paid attention to when it comes to hip hop. I always listen to like production, catchiness. Obviously, I listen to lyrics, but somebody, like I said before, someone could be talking about a baked potato, another guy could be talking about the grind, hustling on the street, or one guy could be talking about Jesus. If the songs are good, the songs are good. That's just the way I put it, and I think about it. And what I mean by Big K.R.I.T here is the reason I disliked his last mixtape is because it didn't have anything to really keep me interested. Like, maybe it was the production, maybe it was just the same old. I've heard this before. All the songs kind of sounded like, a lot of them sounded almost just like his last mixtape. Well, this one here has several different bangers, and I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like this album as much as they liked his last mixtapes. I think this is the best thing Big K.R.I.T's done. I think because I've said this before, I like a diverse, album mixtape. I don't want to just listen to the same over and over and over and over type songs over and over and over again. That's when it gets repetitive. That's when you get bored. And like I said, you can vibe with different styles of music, but I don't like just underground hip hop. I don't like just boom bap. I like mainstream stuff. I like some mainstream stuff. I like this guy. I like that guy. I like just catchy songs. It doesn't have to be one style. Like I said, I'm a diverse fan. I listen to all different types of hip hop. So when it came to this album here, I liked this the most out of anything Big K.R.I.T's done. Sorry, sue me if you don't like it. Well, I guess don't sue me. I didn't really do anything to you, but hate me if you will. So, and then finally, the last thing on here, which is probably up there with one of my favorite things I've heard this year. And I was hesitant to listen to this guy before this mixtape dropped, just because I don't know why. I guess I thought his name just screamed just Soldier Boy. I guess, I don't know, just really Soldier Boy, Gucci Mane type. And I was like, just another kind of guy like that. That's Joey Badass. This blew me away. I love this. And I finally get it. When people talk about, this is the kind of style of music I grew up on. This is the kind of style I grew up on. Kind of style of hip hop I grew up on. This is the lifestyle that I like. This is this is blah 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 that. And people are like, Big K.R.I.T's my guy because this reason, because that's the style I grew up on. I grew up in that that southern wood grain country candy paint type. I grew up in that kind of stuff. I didn't. So maybe I don't get it as much as other people do. But with this mixtape here, I get the feeling that Joey Badass and myself grew up in the same style of hip-hop, that we both liked the same style, that 90s boom bap type. He came in here, young cat, tried to take an old school style, put a new flair on it with his own, his own thing, and I really liked it. I really liked the old school Lord Finesse beats. I liked, the scratches, Static Selector scratches, the mixes, his choruses, his flow was on point. I love this. This guy, to me, Joey Badass now is turned into my Big K.R.I.T, my Killer Mike. So I will be looking for everything that this guy does because I enjoyed this mixtape that much. So that's my spiel on Joey Badass. Amazing mixtape. If you like that 90s boom bap style, you grew up on that kind of hip hop, that gritty just style, you'll love this. You'll love this mixtape. It's definitely one of my favorites. So, holy shit, 30 minutes here. I had almost 40 album / mixtapes to run through just each month. Just keep listening to more and more. I need to start cutting some of these down because these videos are getting long. But let me know what you guys think about these mixtapes here. Drop me a note, comment section if there's anything I should definitely listen to. I'm always on top of everything new. Everything's buzzed about, so let me know. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I am the Mad Scientist, your favorite wrestling shooter, and hip hop enthusiast. Holla at you, boy. Peace.